Your Holiness, I would like to start the presentation of the role of men and women in the tradition of Buddhism in the East and in the West with a short visualization. I would invite everybody here in the room, I would invite you, please imagine you are a male being coming to a Buddhist center, and you come into the main room and you see this beautiful Tara Buddha, this female Buddha on the wall, surrounded by 16 Arhatinis, female Buddhas. And you have the great possibility and chance to talk to Her Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, who in 14 incarnations always choose to have female rebirth. You hear about the 17th Karmapa, who choose to be reborn 17 times as a woman. You are surrounded by very high Rinpoche, she Rinpoches, beautiful, educated, strong women. And then you see the bhikshunis coming into the room, self-confident and outspoken. And then you see the monks coming into the room, very shy and timid. And then you hear about the lineage lamas of the tradition, who are all female, down to the female Buddha Tara in the center. And then imagine you are male, yeah? And you are approaching a lama and you are a little bit insecure and a little bit irritated, and you ask, why? Are there only female symbols, female Buddhas, female teachers, female lineage lamas? And this lama tells you, why do you worry? Men and women are equal. Men and women are equal, women are equal, I mean, almost. Well, I mean, we have some scriptures which say a male rebirth is inferior. But, I mean, this is just a compassionate perception of reality. Isn't it so that men have a more difficult time when all the leaders, politically, spiritually, philosophically, are women? Well, then maybe this male student who is very sincere goes to another lama of a Mahayana tradition and says, what about all these women? I mean, I'm a man. I mean, how can I identify? And then this teacher says, don't worry, you just meditate on shunyata. In shunyata, no man, no woman, no body, nothing, no problem. And then you go even to a tantric teacher and ask him, well, all these women and I'm a man, I don't know how to relate. He said, don't worry, you are Dhaka, beautiful Dhaka, you are so useful for all these practitioners to rouse their energy and to help them get enlightened. Well, this is the visualization. Yeah? So, and now my question to Your Holiness. What would you recommend to your male students, lamas, to help overcome their patriarchal behavior in body, speech, and mind?
I think, strictly speaking, from the Buddhist viewpoint, the human right is something exclusive, because I think it is something biased. So I think our way of approach is not just a human being, but all sentient beings. So from that viewpoint, is the human being and the insect the same. So we should treat same way. I think your explanation, to me personally, very helpful, very useful. You see, it gives me some kind of also the new angle, right?
New angle of looking at things.
You're bhikshu. What is your reaction? And Zen masters within Buddhist tradition. What do you say?
I think it's very helpful advice also. It's a very big problem in the Theravada world.
I think it's a very wonderful challenge for the male to see this and begin to accepting this, because it's something, it's another dimension that we're coming towards, another dimension, and everyone will benefit.
I think so.
This is what I'm very interested in this.
What do the nuns who are here also think?
It was very meaningful to me what Sylvia said, because I've found how the prejudice, even the subtle prejudice in the institution, has affected me psychologically and become a hindrance on the path. You know, even though my teachers are very, very encouraging, and I receive the same teachings as the Western monks, this subtle prejudice makes you lose confidence. And in the same way, having, for the first years of my ordination, I tried to become a Tibetan nun and lower my head and speak like this and stay in the back of the room. And that does something to you psychologically, so that you, it makes a block on the path.
Please.
About sexism, I mean, when I came to India, I was ordained and lived in a monastery with 100 monks, and I was the only nun. I think that's why eventually I went and lived by myself in a cave. The monks were very kind. I mean, I didn't actually live in the monastery, but I had a room apart from the monastery. The monks were very kind. They were all my cousins, my uncles, some of them like my brother. I never had any problem from a sexual or any harassment point of view. They were all very wonderful. But, of course, I was unfortunately within this female form. I mean, they actually told me, well, they prayed that in my next lifetime I would have the good fortune to be reborn as a monk so that I could actually join the monastery. In the meantime, they didn't hold it against me that I had this inferior rebirth in female form. It wasn't too much my fault. And they had compassion. I once asked one of our Rinpoches if there was any advantage in having a female form. He said he would go away and think about it. The next day, he said to me, I have been thinking about it. No, there are no advantages. So I thought, well, at least one advantage is we don't have a male ego. Anyway, yes.
That is a family ego.
But isn't it the case that it seems these days the female ego is also rising?
The female ego is an expression of, in the way it comes out like that and what you saw as being confrontational, it's a way of saying we're in pain because of this. And we're trying to get that pain acknowledged instead of, oh, no, it's really not any problem. Everything's equal. You know, at least if the pain could be acknowledged, even if it can't be remedied, I think it would make us feel better.
Usually, my feeling is the female side, they must develop the self-confidence and take the maximum opportunity, make themselves equal in every field. That's more important. Then in case there are tradition, religious tradition or social tradition, they actually they become obstacle, then we have to tackle that. That's what I do. So that's most welcome.